Hi, welcome to the 13th floor. I'm Marty Duda. Today we have Cairo Knife Fight with us. We have Nick Gaffaney and George, how do you?
Pajon.
Pajon. George is the newest member of the band, and we're going to get to you a little bit shortly and find out all about you. But Nick, you were here, what, about less than 6 months ago?
Yeah.
Just before the She Had tour that you guys were on.
Yeah, it's a lot longer ago than I thought, though, actually, now you mention it. We're in May, aren't we?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's almost 6 months. Time flies. What have you been doing in the meantime, getting this whole thing together?
Yeah, went back, did South by, did a few gigs in LA, got ready to come out here, and then the last month has been on the road in Australia.
Right. And so the South by Southwest and the Australian gigs are the first ones with the two of you playing together, is that right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And how everything going well, I
Brilliantly.
assume?
Yeah, the Australian tour was arguably, I don't even think arguably, it was the best tour this band's ever done anywhere.
Right.
It was brilliant.
So maybe you can tell folks who aren't familiar with George a little bit why he's playing with you and how you came to kind of get together.
I met him in my backyard because he has a studio in my backyard, and so I landed in LA and walked outside, and we kind of got talking, and you know, he played me some of the things that he was doing at the time in his studio, and then I told him the name of the band, and he did a whole lot of research, and then it was the perfect time for the two of us to kind of get together. I just landed. He was kind of just settling down another project that he'd been working on and wanted something new, and there we go. It took a little while to get going, I guess, because I had to come back to New Zealand and play, and was away for a while and stuff, but as soon as we got the chance, we dove straight in.
And you must have had a discussion with George about how you perceived the band and what kind of musician you were looking for. What did you tell him?
To be honest, that wasn't really necessary, because the nature of the band meant that you watch it and you listen to it, especially when you see live videos, you know what the job description is. Mm-hmm. And the important thing for me, if someone's playing with me, is that they have their own version of what they want to do. You know, unless they're going to come out with a flamenco guitar or something, that's going to be a discussion.
Yeah, there's going to be a discussion.
If, you know, which not necessarily isn't going to work, but it was obvious that it's a loud guitar thing. You know, he had some questions about technically how things might operate, but it was obvious what the guitar does in the band. And the more important thing for me is the not so obvious things that a guitarist says, I could do this, and you haven't thought of that. It's like, yeah, that's what I want to hear.
Yeah, okay. Now maybe we'll pass the mic over to George, and for folks who may not know you, you were a member of Black Eyed Peas for quite a while. In fact, you told me that the first time you came to New Zealand was in, what, '99 when you were touring with them?
I believe it was that. It's too far away and too many tours and too much touring to actually remember the exact date. But I started touring with them in October of '98.
Uh-huh.
So I did every show until the last one, which was November 23rd, 2011.
Ah. So what is the status of that band?
They started writing the new album in August. I was in Sydney with them in August. We're about 150 songs into the new album, but you know, they're still my family and friends and stuff. And now Will calls me and I'll help him write the stuff. But I just wanted to do something else. I wanted to go back to my roots and what I started playing. I know it doesn't seem like it makes sense that, you know, someone from that band is doing Cairo Knife Fight, but you know, I never bought a hip-hop record in my life. It wasn't what my musical calling was. That was Will's musical calling. I've always been a rock and roll guitar player, and that's always been my thing, even heavier than rock and roll. I grew up listening to Maiden and Sabbath, and you know, and so when the Peas were done and they were taking a hiatus, what was important to me was to, like, okay, follow my heart now. You know, that was a long time to be doing someone else's project. And it was Will's project, and I'm very grateful, but it was never really my thing. Uh-huh. You know, I was supporting the fact that I wrote a lot of the songs, co-wrote with him, so, you know, you want to go out there and support the music that you're putting out there, and it worked, and it did an amazing thing, and I was very blessed to be a part of it, but this is about me now.
So what was your first impression of hearing Cairo Knife Fight?
I had just finished a session writing in LA, and it was about 3 o'clock in the morning, and he had texted me asking if I wanted to be a part of the band, and I didn't know the name of his band to that point, because his good friend and someone that I met here in New Zealand working and writing here at Roundhead Studios is Neil and Ben, who now live in the same house before he lived there, they lived in, moved into that house. And he kept telling me about Nick and to look Nick up. And I would look up Nick Gaffaney, but everything's under Cairo Knife Fight.
Right.
So there's not really a lot of YouTube videos for Nick Gaffaney. If you do it, you'll see it's all Cairo Knife Fight. So as soon as he sent me the name of the band, and I looked it up, I stayed there until like 5, 6 in the morning when my wife came home. I was like, check this out. She's like, that's it. That's what you need to do next. So that was it. And it spoke to me, and I knew what I could do for that band. And I knew what I could do for that situation, and I could see like, this is gonna be great. And this is gonna, I could see the end. I could see like, man, 5 years from now, this is gonna be unbelievable.
So what was it like when you actually first set up and played together?
We started writing because I kind of told him that I wanted to see if there was chemistry in the writing process first, because to me it's the most important thing. I mean,
right.
You can play together on stage, but if you can't write a song together, then you're gonna have, it's gonna create a longer road for you. And there definitely was, and we wrote a lot of stuff fast, and then it was like, whoa, wait, we gotta finish this stuff. And then he left to do the tour with Shihad. And when he came back, he had mentioned that the label, I think it was his management and the label had mentioned that there was the danger missing from the stuff that we were doing. And I'm like, well, we haven't played together yet. We need to play together. And so we decided at that point, okay, let's quit this writing stuff. He has the music, let's just play that music. And so we booked one show, and right after that, we got offered the South by Southwest stuff. So we did the South by Southwest stuff, and after that, like, we definitely knew, and there was some definite magic on stage, and the power of the band is so huge, and
right.
And it was an experience that I'm like, okay, I'm good, I'm good right here.
Yeah, because on the Colossus, which has just come out, you're not on the record, so you're obviously having to listen to what other people have played, and I assume add something of your own. How does that process work for you?
Well, for me, it's I felt like I needed to learn the stuff and know what the voice was before I got involved, and then add my voice to that. It's just a natural progression at that point, you know. I mentioned this in the last interview. If I was to replace Robbie Krieger in the Doors, I'd have to learn Break On Through. So
yes,
it's kind of the
That's
same
essential.
thing, you know. And you're just not gonna discard all that, you know, music, and especially no one's heard this music in America.
Right.
So that's actually a positive, a plus for us. It's like that takes away from months and months of writing and everything. No, let's just go play this music, and he already knows it, so it's one less person that has to learn. So everything was pretty much on my shoulders to learn and properly play the stuff and take it to the next level.
All righty. Now, in addition to you've got a new video out as well, right?
Yeah, we've got a video for Reality Engine, which I think came out a couple of days ago.
So we'll throw some visuals from that up,
Cool.
and people can look at it. Maybe
it's a
you
cool
can
video.
give people an idea of what's going on in the video.
It stars the same actress from the Reslov video, Hannah Tasker-Poll, and I'm hoping that we can keep this connection with her going, because I'd love the idea of developing a body of work with her that just stretches over a period of time, because she's incredibly diverse. This one is sort of a study of mental illness in a lot of ways, really. That's how the song was written, and so it's a pretty apt description, I think, visually of someone's battle with that. She does a great job of it, really. It's everyone involved in that team did a remarkable job. I'm incredibly happy with it. I think it's the best one we've done.
Cool. And so how involved do you get in the making of the videos?
I try and do as little as I can.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
It's a good day, man. It's a good day to, like, I get told when the videos are being made, and I love lying on my bed on the days they're being made, and I'm in LA and they're getting made here, and they tell me what's happening, and I don't have to do anything. I'm not even there.
Right.
I love that. It's brilliant. At some point I'm probably going to have to be in another video, but I'm going to count my blessings every time I don't have to be. So essentially, Carl at Red Yeti's just had carte blanche to come up with ideas, and obviously the team gets involved and says, yes, no, maybe this is different and this is that. But, you know, I'm a firm believer in the teams that you build letting people do what they do. Otherwise, there's no point having them there. So you just let them go and direct as you see fit gently towards a goal that everyone's happy with.
Right, right. All righty. So now the tour in New Zealand starts tomorrow at Whammy Bar and proceeds throughout the country. Give me even if people have seen you, they haven't seen this band. So what are they going to be expected to be in for?
Well, I think the band has grown over this period of time. I think even from being back here for Shihad, doing a bunch of shows in a row is not something this band gets to do very often. So coming off 3 weeks in Australia, there's a punch to it, there's a consistency to it, and there's a connection that's been forged, I think, in those shows, which is somehow bigger, bolder, brighter, and beyond what it was before. And it's exciting. Like, I don't have any fears about playing this stuff live like I might have had in the past, wondering, is this gonna, how's this gonna sound? Because there's attention to detail now that there hasn't been in the past, sonically and arrangement-wise. It's an exciting time to be playing even the same songs we were playing before. And it's good to play some of these new songs. We're playing stuff off the Colossus that we weren't playing before, and that's exciting. There's new songs in there and a mix of old ones. And it's a good time to be in this band.
And with a new guitar player, I mean, every guitar player has his own sound. Everybody sounds somewhat different, even though they're playing the same 6 strings. How would you describe George's sound and how it's maybe different than what people have heard in the band before? The
best way you can describe it is that we've lugged 2 Friedman guitar heads from LA over here that weigh 32 kgs each. No one does that at a band this size. We've lugged that stuff over here because it was important to get that sound that he gets. That's the significance of it. And it's been difficult for both of us to, financially make it work and fit it in the baggage allowance they give you and all that kind of stuff. But that's the key to it, is the attention to detail and tone and sonically. The songs just don't. There's not one guitar sound for a whole song anymore. It's like things change, amps come on and off. Effects are different. It's just, the best way to put it is an attention to detail in the guitar sound, which now means everything is as dialed in as perfectly as it can be, rather than just being about the performance of the song. It's now about the performance combined with this attitude that it can sound like better. It can always sound better. There's more we can do to it. There's more we can take away. There's edges we can rough off. That's really what it's about now.
And is there any difference for you playing in New Zealand and in Australia, or if you're going to be playing shows in the States? Does the audience make a difference to you?
So far, all the gigs we did in South By, the gigs we did in LA, and the gigs we did in Australia, the audience has reacted the same way, which is exciting. They've all given us a lot of love. And at some point you're going to hit some people that don't like it, but that's fine. We haven't hit that yet. And that's an exciting thing to have. 25, 26 odd gigs, whatever it is now, maybe 30. It almost feels like it's been getting better as we've gone along. And that's great.
And just to kind of touch on the music a little bit more, it's a very aggressive music. I was just in my car on the motorway and I had it playing, and it seemed like the perfect music to sit in a traffic jam and you just go, crank it up.
So it's going to smash in LA then.
So where does that come from you? I mean, that must be something you need to express in some way.
Yeah, I guess. I wouldn't necessarily describe so much of it as aggressive as passionate or intense, or a lot of intensity, because I don't think, especially vocally and lyrically, it's particularly aggressive compared to some music that you could easily see that way, which is, dominated by aggressive vocals or whatever. I think it just comes from, actually I think it comes from that jazz background that I have, where, you might have something incredibly beautiful being played by, say, the classic Coltrane Quartet or the Miles Quintet, that it was beautiful, but it still had this abundance of passion and energy and intensity, which would almost knock people off their feet. That's what I've been going for with this project forever. And putting that with those kind of falsetto vocals I do was always a goal. Even something like the Violence of Action on that second EP, that was quite a gritty, rough sound, but just had that prettiness on top. That's what I've been looking for.
All righty. Well, it sounds like people are in for a good one.
I hope so.
So thank you guys for coming by. Good luck with the show. George, it's great to meet you. And
pleasure.
I hope you enjoy you've probably seen, how much of the country have you seen before? Have you been through most of it, or was it just?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of it, and we just got off of 17 shows with 2 days off, so I'm pretty much enjoying my hotel room.
Very good.
Yeah.
Are you not going to go to the power station tonight and see Anika?
Yeah, we are.
we actually are.
Good on you. All right, I'll see you there then. All right, well, thank you guys.
Thank you.
And good luck.
Nice meeting you.
Bye-bye.